Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Bircher, Senior Technical Consultant with CTC, and today we are continuing a BIM 360 kind of mini webinar series. And today we're focusing on the BIM 360 product, BIM 360 layout. And so what I plan on doing today is just kind of an overview of all of the different products and focusing then on the ones that are pertinent to taking advantage of BIM 360 layout. So first, kind of just a quick overview of the new BIM 360. So many of you may have heard of BIM 360 Glue and Field and Docs and Team, Collaboration for Revit, various other BIM 360 products. They've changed things and reconsolidated some of this effort. So now we have what's called the BIM 360 Next Generation platform. So there are some primary new products now. You have BIM 360 Design, BIM 360 Glue, BIM 360 Build, and then there are a couple of outliers still as far as BIM 360 Plan and BIM 360 Ops. So what we're going to do today is just focus on the modules needed for BIM 360 layout. And BIM 360 layout, we also come to find out, is part of the Glue package. So again, we'll do just a quick overview of everything. We're going to figure out what Autodesk Point Layout does, because that's part of the puzzle here. And then how to translate information back and forth using BIM 360 Glue and BIM 360 Layout. And then I've got a short video that shows how we can set everything up using the total stations. So again, here are the new BIM 360 platforms. So you have BIM 360 Design, which is incorporates BIM 360 Docs now as the platform or the hub. So we had Team before. Now we're going to be migrating everything into Docs, and that does work with Revit via the Collaboration Cloud work sharing tools. Then we have BIM 360 Glue, which is your model coordination, and you get access to the classic BIM 360 Glue as well as BIM 360 Layout. So it's the middle option here where you will get access to BIM 360 Layout by default. And then if you purchase so many licenses, I think the minimum is a 25 pack of BIM 360 Glue. You will also get seats of Navisworks and Autodesk Point Layout with that. So I'm not exactly sure how many you get, but I do know you get at least one. I think it's more like 5 each, but you'll want to verify that with your sales reps or account reps, if you're interested. And then there is BIM 360 Build, which is now your field management software. So you get access to the classic BIM 360 Field, as well as the new Field Management Console, Project Management Console, and Insight. So, and all three of these all include BIM 360 Docs and the administration portal for setting up your projects and user management and setting up permissions and all that fun stuff. So, there we go. So let's start that over real quick. Just a couple clicks. I just now noticed the comment. Sorry, guys. So the BIM 360 overview, again, you've heard me. These are the slides that I was showing. So we basically now have, just to kind of keep going with this, a product for every single piece of the project lifecycle, whether it's the design stages, the pre-con, on-site field executions, and stuff for at the end for operations and the handover process. So again, this is the slide. BIM 360 Glue is the one that you guys need to incorporate with BIM 360 Layout, which is what we're focusing on today. So the glue part, we have BIM 360 Glue, which is your clashing tool, your model coordination tool. So you'll get access to Docs, you'll get access to the model coordination toolkit, the project and account administration pieces. You also get access to the original BIM 360 Glue, or the classic version, which is your catalyst or your highway to BIM 360 Layout. the new model coordination feature does not push to any of the other products just yet. I know I'm pretty sure that's part of their plan, but this will come with BIM 360 layout. You'll just get it. So yeah. So then when you're in the product, it'll look like this, and you'll be able to choose back and forth from a handful of these different modules. So one key cog to this process of getting point data from Revit to BIM 360 layout is a plugin for Revit and AutoCAD for that matter called Autodesk Point Layout. This allows you to generate little generic model type points, whether it's in Revit or little blocks in AutoCAD, that can be then brought into BIM 360 layout through the classic BIM 360 glue platform. So we can take these points, we can label them, number them up, push them all the way out to the BIM 360 layout page that can now be accessed by our total stations. Otherwise, if you don't go that route, you can actually just export the data from the Revit model and push, and then put it on like a little micro USB disk, and then plug that into your total station, and now you've got access to all the points. So, a couple of different ways to go about doing this. Some of the primary benefits are it's really simple and pretty straightforward for creating these points and managing them. Everything is set up kind of by a different type of point, and it's relatively easy to manage these, regardless of how many you got, and it's quick too. So, it will go ahead and enhance, our document sets to the field efficiency as far as laying everything out. So having a digitized version of our project and our layout scheme right there on the job site, we don't have to manually input this data or hope that we're shooting the point in the right spot. Some of the things that you can apply points to are property lines, building setbacks, columns and piles, anchor bolts, pipe sleeves, or really anywhere an opening in a wall or a floor would need to be cut. Hangers, lights, poles, anything on the site, anything outside the building, really anything inside the building that needs to be installed, or anything a part of the building can have a point placed on it. You can put a point on anything. You just have to kind of pick and choose what category you want it a part of, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And actually, we'll do that part now. So let me switch to Revit here. So here is the Autodesk Point Layout tools. We have the ability to build out our own set of points, whether it's by placing them manually or attached directly to a wall, a footing or a slab, ceilings, line work, just by the face of objects, or into parts if you're using parts. You've got your hanger placement options for MEP, and then you've got some basic editing, management of data, the point numbering. Here's how you can import, export points the old way or the manual way if you're not using BIM 360 layout. And how you can go ahead and configure it all. So basically, there's two different things I wanted to show here. One is the ability to place these on a footing, for example, or in a family. So you have the ability to attach points to the families. So I've got one already here. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it real quick. And go to an elevation view. And we have access to our point layout tools. I can add a point here and pick a category to attach it to. So I'll just do walls for now. And you'll get an option to determine if it's, work plane snapping or element snaps. If I say element, then as long as I have a location to put it, it's going to go ahead and do that for me. And then I get to go ahead and make sure that it's constrained to the right set of planes. So I wasn't very careful putting it in, so I'll just quickly align and lock it to there and to there. Same thing I did with these guys. And now I can load it into the project, and any footing that's placed now has all of these points. So since I already had that in the project, I'm not going to load them in. They're already here. You can see them. They're classified under the generic model group. So if at any time you don't want to see them, you can turn those off. You can also manually place these if you want to, but if you don't have to, don't. It doesn't hurt to just let Revit do the work let the plugin do the work for you. So I can say add a wall point, and I can do any type of customization to this, like what category or what type of point. Is there a prefix I want to use? What's the start number? What role does the point have? Is there a phase of the project that's specific to these items being staked out? And I can go ahead and choose where it's coming in. Is it finish, the core? So once you go through all these, it's set up kind of the way you want. And then you can locate them both at top or bottom. If I just say bottom in this case. Oh, I'm pointing to the wrong shared parameters file. That would be a great thing to not have happen. So anyway, I can still place points. And it goes ahead and does them. So, and if necessary, I can tell it to go to each corner as well. So, you don't need the shared parameter file mapped clearly to get the points placed. So, it still adds the parameters that are necessary for changing the point numbers manually if you wanted to, or its role. So, everything's working out as I would have anticipated. Then I would go ahead and sync up my model, and the next step is to push it to a product called BIM 360 Glue. So all versions of Revit now have a BIM 360 panel found on the Add-ins tab. In the past, there used to be a BIM 360 tab that had this on it. That was prior to version 2016. So I would hit Glue, grab my project, and push everything up. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste any time. You don't get much. So I'm just going to bypass that piece here and get back to the PowerPoint now. So the next tool is BIM 360 Glue. So this is not only the tool, but it's also the suite, the BIM 360 suite tool set, I guess, where you get a couple of different products. BIM 360 Glue by itself is a model coordination tool and serves as a gateway to a number of other classic products. In this case, BIM 360 layout, but also if I wanted to see a model in the classic BIM 360 field format, I would use Glue to share things with it. You do need specific licensing, so you'll have to get that attached to by user. So you'll have to be invited to the project with a license attached to you and an active project associated with it. And this, I'll just take this right into the same thing. BIM 360 layout. Again, it's intended to be used on the job site. You'll have an iPad, you'll have your total station, you'll define control points or inherit control points from the Revit model, and you'll stake everything out based on what you're working with. So, and it just allows you to do things a lot faster, a lot more accurately, and if things change, we field verify stuff, and the point is different now than it used to be, we can get that pushed back into the Revit model so we have accurate as-builts. So now what I plan on doing, not yet. There we go. So we've glued it. Now we have BIM 360 Glue. This is the classic desktop version that you guys have access, that you would have access to if the BIM 360 Glue suite was purchased. I've got a number of different projects set up here. This is the one I'm working with. And I've got the individual models that have been glued up by the various consultants. So they would have access. They can go ahead and glue the models up for me from their Revit environment. So I don't have to do it all unless I want to. Then I can merge everything together into its own file, consolidated version, or I could just work with individual files posted. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to get a copy of all the models. It's going to show me all of the points that have been placed. So if I just take a look, you can see here that I've got points on my footings. I should have points on my strip footings here, and I likely now have some points over here on this wall too. So, and that's just what I happen to point out. You can always go to the turn off maybe the architectural. The light fixtures, suspended lights have them, pipe hangers have them, duct hangers have them, cable tray runs have them. I mean, anything that is a part of the model that needs to be located can very well have these, and probably should. It would make life a lot easier, I imagine. But that's it. I just need to get it into glue and get the model refreshed. That's it. That's all. In this case, all I would need glue for. I can now fire up BIM 360 layout on my iPad, and that is the only place you're going to get it. So what I've got here is a recording from Dan Stong at RDO. They are a total station reseller, and I worked with him to get this presentation put together for Midwest University a few months back. And what he's doing right now is this is him driving it. He's on the iPad. He was able to select the project. It pulled the glue model in to BIM 360 layout. So now he's just zooming in, checking out to verify that points are in the model. He has stuff to work with. And ultimately what he ends up doing here is connecting to the total station, defining what his control points or his coordinate points are, where is the total station being set up from in relation to the building. So you can actually use a known point, or you can create your own for this setup. So here he's effectively calibrating the system, really setting up how tall his wand is that he's going to be walking around on the site with. Then he's going to go ahead and align it to the total station before he starts mapping out his points. So part of this, I guess, maybe drags out a little further than it needs to, so I'll just kind of try to jump ahead. So here he's got it searching for where he's got the total station searching for the wand, and so as soon as they find each other, it'll kick into gear. And let's just keep jumping ahead. And now he's going to go ahead and pick his control points. So he's going to pick something probably right off to the side and continue moving on with this. And okay, so now he's defined his points. It's researching or regenerating, and now he's going ahead and beginning to map out all the different locations. He would go ahead and stake everything out at this point. The data locked in with the wand and the total station becomes collected point number, and that then updates each individual node or point that we've placed already, which we can then push back into our Revit models if things have changed. So that then we can update our Revit models to those new positions and make sure that we're handing over the most accurate as-built we possibly can. So, yeah. So there's not a whole lot to it. Really the trick here is just the hardest part about this is being steady with your wand. I've done it. I'm not very steady-handed, apparently. So getting an accurate measurement where it was very accurate, it was very precise. I was stunned at the precision. But me just being able to hold it level really with our settings, had a pretty significant effect on what points it was recording. So, yeah, with that being said, I'll open it up for questions. There's not much here. Now that you've been able to see some of this in action. Again, I want to point out with the Autodesk Point Layout app that all of the editing would happen right here. So I got one question here that says, when is CTC's other vendors coming out with the Steadicam to stabilize your point input? I don't know, honestly. But what I can do is find out, and whether I will get back to you or someone else will from CTC. Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Does this work with point layout systems? I guess I'm not entirely certain what you're talking about. Other systems, like other MEP related systems, pipe systems, HVAC systems. Oh, like Trimble. Okay. So yes, it's what you would do is you would have to export those points. So as long as you can, which will effectively dump out a text file. Okay. So you can take that text file to really any other device. All it is it's just a list of point name and coordinates. So I would assume that other systems like Trimble or various other entities would be able to read that information. But as far as active plugins, I don't believe there is anything else. All right. Well, it doesn't appear that there are any other questions coming up. Oh, wait. Question, what were we looking at on the iPad? So the iPad, this here is BIM 360 layout on the iPad. And so the BIM 360 layout app syncs up to your total station. So yes, we were looking at the app that basically allows you to use your total station concurrently and map out your points. And it's all based off of kind of like an ad hoc wireless network. So the total station itself has its own little Wi-Fi station, and we were able to connect to that. It was not a healthy total station, no. Which one was it? Topcon? It works with any. It should be, as far as I know, it works with any of them. Topcon, CON. So I do want to point out that we do have a number of other upcoming events, webinars, mini trainings. So if you please visit our website, and there'll be more information up there. I don't know. We have tons of them. We've got stuff every week, so it's hard to kind of keep track of how many and what weeks they are. But if you go to our website, there's all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of good knowledge on BIM 360 nowadays. So if you go to this link here, forums.autodesk.com, and then just search BIM 360 or whatever you want, you'll find something. And then they have an ideas feedback. They have a feedback page. I call it BIM 360 ideas, but it's feedback. Let them know what works, what doesn't work, what's missing, and they're always happy to hear that. So otherwise, you can forward them to me. I'm in weekly meetings with these guys. They're always looking for feedback from us and from you guys. So if you find anything, give it to myself or give it to these guys. You send out a PDF with clickable links of this presentation. Yeah, I can do that. I'll have, either I will or someone else will at least get you the hyperlinks for these things here. And this is being recorded, so it'll be up on our YouTube channel here. I would imagine by the end of the week. So, but yeah, I'll make sure to get the links out to you guys. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Again, I'm going to stick around for another 4 or 5 minutes just because there's the time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, call or send us an email. We'll be around. Thank you, everybody.